Namaste yogis, welcome to your yin class today. My name is Kat, if we've not met before, and I'll be guiding you through the next 45 minutes. So just making sure you either have a yoga bolster and a block handy, or a couple of pillows and a folded blanket or two will be absolutely fine for today's practice. And as always, please work within your capabilities. If something doesn't feel good in your body, please change your shape and you're always welcome to come out early. So today let's start lying down onto our backs. So finding your way to any reclined position, feel free maybe to have a pillow underneath the head or behind the knees. Lying down nice and flat. And we just spend these first few moments arriving, centering and grounding. And just let the body be heavy as you allow the eyes to close down. And if eyes shut doesn't feel good today, just take a soft half gaze towards your top lip. This is your time now, just for you. And today we'll be exploring a little bit deeper the concept of grounding as we connect in with our base chakra, the first of our primary energy centers. And when we pay attention to these vortexes of concentrated energy, we can pick up subtle cues to whether how we're feeling on a physical level and whether we're feeling a little bit off balance. But first, let's just arrive, letting go of the day so far. There's nowhere to be, nothing to think about. Just giving back to yourself with your nourishing, grounding practice. So just taking a quick scan through the body, noticing if you are holding any tension, any tightness anywhere. Just allowing the body to drop. Head nice and heavy. And start to soften your senses from the external world and start to tune into your internal world. Quite often our busy modern lives are rushing around so much, we don't take the time to connect, to pause, to be still. So just noticing in this exact moment how you are feeling. It's okay to feel a little bit tired, a bit depleted. It's also okay to feel quite energized, quite bouncy, quite fizzy. Or maybe you're somewhere in between. When we check in, when we notice how we feel, we can meet ourselves exactly at that point. Now bring awareness to your tailbone. And just feeling the back of the pelvis even heavier into the earth. On each natural exhale, just letting the body drop a little bit more. Feel the weight of the back of the pelvis sinking into the mat. And maybe start to visualize a beautiful ruby red color, the color of base chakra, or in Sanskrit, Muladhara, which means base support. Now, energy centers, imagine them as little pillars. And we start at the bottom, then we build up, just like building a physical building, setting a firm foundation. And this is what our base chakra is all about. Characteristics of Muladhara: grounding, safety, security, our basic human needs. When these things are met, we can feel safe and secure in our outer world. So just take a few moments here, visualizing a ruby red, Feeling the body grounding just by using gravity. Feel the pull of gravity drawing you into your mat. And every single one of us has the ability to connect with our chakras. The chakras are often suggested to be spinning wheels. So maybe you can feel a spinning wheel or visualize one right over your lower back, tailbone. You may feel your chakra as a pulsing heartbeat. When our chakras are vibrant, when they're pulsing or spinning at their optimal rate, that's when we feel good, we feel balanced, we feel centered. And the characteristics of each chakra are in their middle ground or sattvic state. And with all the different goings on in our lives, internal and externally, our chakras can get thrown out of balance. But the more in tune we are, the more aware we are of characteristics of each chakra. That's so we can pick up on the cues and get on top of things before they escalate. And this is the purpose of today's class, to connect in and get a little bit of education behind Base Chakra and Muladhara. So gently start to bring some movement into your fingers, into your toes. Just a very slow awakening. Maybe having a stretch or squeezing knees to the chest. Any gentle movement here just to return a little bit back to the body if you drifted off. And slowly rolling over onto your left hand side, your yin side. Take a pause, moving mindfully through transitions. There is never a rush. And find your way up to upright. Well, we'll meet for our first yin shape of an extended supported child's pose. So any sensitive knees, please grab a folded blanket and place some extra padding underneath the knees. Even if the knees aren't sensitive, it's always nice to have some padding. So knees as wide as what feels comfortable for you. Big toes can touch or have a little gap. Target area is our inner thighs as well as our spine. So as we are focusing on Muladhara today, bring awareness to the lower spine, the tailbone. If you have a couple of pillows or cushions, maybe placing them in front of you, or if you do have a yoga bolster, bring the short round end just between the knees. Make sure there is a bit of a gap between the end of the bolster and the groin. And slowly start to lay yourself down. Head, neck and shoulders can drop. Having something to lean into can just hold us in this first shape. But if it feels restrictive, just slide the cushioning to the side. It doesn't have to be there. Then closing down the eyes or just gazing softly down towards the mat. And this just lets us let go of any external distractions. Everything we need is inside of us, and especially when we're connecting in with our energetic body. We may not physically be able to see it with our eyes. It's that way we must feel. But first, on a physical level, philosophy of the yin practice, observing sensation within the body. Broad sensation that could be described as a stretch or a pull, may just even feel a little bit numb, a bit tingling. So right now, in this shape, inner thighs, the groins, and as I mentioned earlier, what can you feel around the lower spine? May not feel much, may just be quite quiet. Or you may be feeling quite an intense stretch. But as long as whatever you're feeling is broad and never sharp or shooting, absolutely fine. Maybe some sensation for the tops of the feet. Maybe into the knees. Again, just suggestions. If you don't feel anything in these areas, that's fine. Notice where you're feeling sensation for you. That's what makes the yin practice so spacious, so personal. Because only you know how you feel. A long, slow, passive holds. Anywhere up to 4 minutes today. And don't worry about the time. I'll always let you know when it's time to transition. We are at the halfway point, so if your head is turned, maybe turning your head in the opposite direction, get an equal stretch for the neck. And notice what has evolved, what feels different now. Sensations got quiet, you may wish to bring the knees out a little bit wider, even lower some cushioning. And maybe observe the pull of gravity as your sit bones start to draw a little bit closer to the heels. Now we've given the body chance, just under 3 minutes already, just to settle, to drop into a rest and digest state. Notice what's changed. When the body feels safe, it can relax, it's not on guard. This is us working even unknowingly with the base chakra. Base chakra is always there whether we connect with it or not. As soon as the physical body drops, it feels safe. Muladhara is nourished. It can support us. It's the final minute. I'll just leave you in silence, just to ponder, to feel, to observe. Again, you may just wish to visualize a ruby red around your tailbone, lower back. Saying hello and awakening, base chakra, Muladhara. I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Last few breaths. Deepening your inhale, this just gets the body ready to move, especially when we get into a little bit more of a deeper yin state. Slowly use your hands for support, pressing into the hands, lift the chest, chin rises last. Take a pause, especially as the head's been lower than the heart, may just get a bit of a head rush. Quietly placing any props to the side as you realign the bones of the legs, and just take a pause. If the legs need a rest, come to a seat, just stretch the legs long. If you prefer just to slide quietly to your back, you're welcome to do so. And just settle in, notice what you feel. We take a quiet pause in between, just to let the body bounce back to its new kind of normal. So notice what's happening here. Any new awarenesses, any tingles, change in temperature, all things just to note. If you're seated, stay. If you're on your back, slowly rolling to your left. And we'll make our way up to an upright position. Well, we'll meet for Seiza, so we won't be here too long. Just tuck the shins underneath you and sit back on the heels. Sitting up nice and tall. Hands can rest on the knees, either palms down if you feel like you need a little bit more grounding, or maybe palms up. Now, if this already causes strong sensation for the knees, you can either place a blanket underneath the knees like I'm showing you here, or get a blanket roll and place the blanket roll behind the knees. Just sitting back onto the blanket can just take the pressure off. Or you are always welcome to grab a prop, a couple of cushions, a bolster, and just sit on the end of some height. And this way I'll just take the pressure off the knees a little bit. But if you're fine just to sit as you are, sitting back on the heels, please do. And closing the eyes. Again, just bring the focus inside. What can you feel, especially on the lower legs? Feel all parts of the body in contact with the earth. And Base Chakra does govern our lower body, our legs, our feet. Our feet are our main connection to the ground. So when we are feeling a little bit off kilter, a bit disconnected, ungrounded, best thing you can do is get your feet on the earth, barefoot, on sand, grass, dirt, and just feel into the grounding connection of Mother Nature. Mother Nature is always present. She never drifts off. She never goes on holiday. She's always here, the one stable, grounding thing we can rely on. Seasons change like clockwork. You can always rely that summer will follow spring. Then on to autumn after the summer season. So when we lose our connection, we feel ungrounded. Coming back to nature can really help. Be our anchor. So if you can stay right here for another minute, please do. You're always welcome to come out. If you'd like a little bit more for the feet, give the feet some love today. Come onto the hands, tuck the toes, and come into fire toes, or sometimes called toe press. And don't forget the little toes. Give them some love, tuck them under. Sitting back on the heels. If you're sitting up on height, you can do the same shape, still sitting up on a bolster or height. If suddenly everything has got a little bit fiery, you can always bring something in front of you. You can lean into a block, or even rest the elbows down onto some cushioning and just draw the weight back into the toes if it is feeling a bit intense. Or if, like me, you quite like this shape, you can just sit back like you were. Feel the sensation for the arches of the feet, lots of thick connective tissue in our feet. Our feet work so hard, walking us around, supporting us all day. Give the feet some love right now. Just another 30 seconds. I'll just leave you in silence to ponder the philosophy, to connect in with the feet, the lower legs. Last few breaths. Just notice the body's reaction to this cue. Does it want to run away, or can we just stay a while longer? Amazing. Bring the weight forward onto the hands, releasing any props you may have been sitting on. Just come into a tabletop position. Feel the tingling sensation coming back to the feet. If you just wish to tap the feet, roll the ankles, just get the circulation back, please do. And then we'll just start to take some movement here. If you need to pad up underneath the knees, as we will transition straight into a next shape of dragon lunge. After we've taken some movement, do place some padding underneath the knees and just start to rock. You can rock side to side, forward and back. Shape's called marauding bear. So take any freestyle movement you wish. You may come into some cat-cows, circling through the hips, the shoulders. Any movement that feels good for you. The stirring sensation, getting the body moving. Just a few more moments here. And don't forget about the neck. You can get the neck involved. Nice gentle movement for the neck. Then just coming back to neutral. Maybe grabbing a block and taking a big step forward with your right foot for dragon lunge. Nice big step forward. I like to place a block, or you can use whatever you have available just to get some height underneath the left hand. Right foot can be quite wide, or it can be more close into the center of the body. Our focus is our hips. So noticing how I'm softening the hips forward without force. So I'm not dumping down onto the back knee. So softening the hips forward to feel a stretch down the front of the left thigh into the right hip crease and right outer hip. So just noticing how the lunge feels. In Yin, we can let go of alignments. If the knee is shooting over the toe, not a problem. If the right foot is slightly out to the side, again, no problem at all. Now, if you feel this is your first edge, you can stay here a while. We've got 4 minutes. Stay right here. It's not how deep we can go, it's how long we can stay. So if you think this is it for now, please stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, if you're not really feeling much, or if you need to take some weight off the hands, bring the body weight forward and down. Rest on some cushioning. You can stack a couple of pillows on top of one another, or like me, rest on a bolster. If you need to support the back leg, you can always slide cushion or the bolster just above the left thigh like this, above the left knee, and just lean some weight in here. Just make sure when you're using props that it doesn't diminish, the sensation completely. You still want to feel something. Props allow us to stay a while, especially if you're shaking or efforting or bracing. Grab something to lean on. But if we have too many props and we can't feel anything at all, that's when we just need to adjust a little bit. So we need to feel a broad sensation, even if it's quiet. But if it's quiet because we've got too many props, just slide some to the side. And then just settle in. Again, noticing all parts of the body in contact with the earth. Noticing what's happening in the hips, lower back. So when our base chakra is nourished, and it's in its middle ground, that's when we feel grounded. We feel safe, we feel secure. We feel safe within our body. All our basic needs are met. We have enough resources to pay for food, shelter. We feel safe within our environment. We look after the house of our soul, the physical body. We care for it, we nourish it. Good food, exercise, and all the other things that we take into our body. The books we read, the media we choose to follow, all have an effect on our being. So in base chakras, strong, healthy, vibrant. We feel strong, healthy and vibrant. We have our solid foundation. But as I mentioned earlier, everyday stresses, internally or externally influenced, can send our energy centers off kilter. With chakras, they don't just get undernourished, they can get overstimulated as well. So I'll talk about this a little bit more as we move into the other shapes. So just a few more breaths here, deepening your inhale. Nice and slow, pressing into the hands again. Avoid the urge to bolt. Move slowly out of your shape. You can just step back to seated, kneeling. Or we will take our next shape. We'll take a pause from our kneeling in between. So next shape will be taken on our front. So if you would like to slide your way into a prone position, please do. You can stack the hands, make a pillow for the forehead, or turn the head to one side. Have a sigh if that feels good. And notice how the lower legs feel, lower spine, any tingles, any shifts. What's going on in this moment? And staying on our fronts, for Sphinx pose, if you're not on your front, sliding your way down now. Then coming up on to your elbows, target area at the front of the body, as well as a passive backward bend. Again, really feeling into our base chakra. So any back issues today, legs can be wide, but not too wide that we can't feel anything in the lower back. And you can slide the elbows away from you. Or if you're not feeling much, bring the legs closer together, elbows closer in. Of course, if you're familiar with the shape and the different ways of propping, please go ahead and prop yourself up. If it's too much for the shoulders or the lower back, snuggle a pillow or a bolster in front of the front ribs. So you can just lean some weight in there. If it's okay to let the chin nod in, please do. Or you can always support the forehead on a block. Or use your hands. Cup your chin in your hands. I quite like this one. And just make sure the legs are soft. If you're gripping, tensing through the legs, this will take the pressure off the lower back. But that's where we want to feel some sensation. And of course, if you're not feeling much, you can always bring your elbows up onto a bolster or a cushion. You can find your first edge. It doesn't have to be super deep or intense. Just find a position you can stay in for the next 3 minutes. And feel front of the pelvis heavy, feeling into the lower back. Just notice if the shoulders are scrunching around the ears, maybe widening the elbows to broaden the collarbones. And then just settle. Notice what you feel. Can you feel into the lower back, front of the body? And maybe even visualizing the ruby red emanating from base of spine. And if our base chakra is a little bit undernourished, if it's not very vibrant, so we don't feel secure within our body, the emotion of fear can show up, not feeling safe, feelings of lack in all areas, not having our basic needs met, or we may perceive our basic needs are not being met, sense of lack, fearful of our environment, always checking windows, doors, cars, not being able to settle. Constant worry. It may be external factors that are causing us to worry, to feel fearful. But sometimes it can be in our head. Sometimes our mind can create stories telling us we're not good enough, we haven't got enough. Everything's going to run out tomorrow and there won't be enough to go around. And just coming back to yourself, taking a step back from these thoughts. That's why Yin is so fantastic. It gives us a quiet space to reflect and knowing right now in this moment everything is okay, you have enough. When our base chakra is nourished, we're resourceful, we mend and make do, we look around, see what we've got, what can we make with the supplies we have. So sometimes it's as simple as taking a pause, looking around, seeing what we've got already. Just being really thankful for what we have. Gratitude. So just one more minute left. If you would like to increase sensation by just coming up into seal pose, you can straighten the arms without locking the elbows. Carefully not scrunching into the lower back, the legs, the glutes. And we'll just take a few moments here. If this doesn't feel good, just come back to elbows. Maybe just pondering, do you feel safe and secure? Have you got any feelings of lack at the moment? And it's absolutely fine if you have, no judgment. As soon as you recognize, we can stop the spiral of the story and start to get on top of it. So last few breaths. Any cushioning underneath the front of the body, just bring it to the side. And once again, coming down onto your front. Stack the hands, make a pillow. Maybe you'd like to take one leg out to the side, make half a frog's leg. This can just take the pressure off the lower back if it is feeling a little bit niggly. Sighing is so welcomed. Just notice what you feel. Nice and slow. You can either roll to your side or use your hands, returning any legs that may be out to the side back to center, and press yourself up to a tabletop position. We'll take dragon lunge over to the opposite side. So do pad up, especially underneath the right knee, and take a nice big step forward with your left foot. Again, hands can rest onto the left thigh, or if you have something to place underneath the right hand, please grab it. Now feeling into the hips once more, target area. Now shifts to the hip crease on the left glute, as well as the front of the right thigh. So just make sure we're not forcing the hips forward. Just find your edge, and if you do need to wriggle around and just take some movement to do so, absolutely fine. And then just settle here. And feeling the downward pull of gravity. And it may feel different on this side. Bodies aren't always symmetrical, so if the shapes change slightly, not a problem at all. And if our base chakra is being a bit excessive, if it's overstimulated, that's where we can get a little bit sloth-like, not moving, a little bit too grounded. Overeating, not really caring about our body. Just putting whatever we feel like into our body, not really caring, not nourishing it. And also holding on, hoarding, having lots and just keep getting more and just hoarding what we have. Think of Mr. Scrooge. Have everything but being very stingy with it. Not sharing it, not even sharing it with ourselves, fear of it running out, so we just keep hold of everything. And also being obsessed, once again, just like if we're not feeling safe in our body, always constantly checking the windows, the locks. Also if we're excessive, then we can be obsessive about security, having every security system under the sun. Being addicted to external security. Again, how can we balance out our base chakra? Just like I said earlier, coming into nature, being outside, getting back to basics. Observing what we put into our body. As it is suggested, food is our fuel and medicine, and it does affect it. So if we're constantly putting highly processed, sugary, fatty foods into the body, we will start to feel a bit ugh. I'm not saying we can't have a little bit now and again. But just making sure we're not overindulging. It's all about fine-tuning. And even with chakra balancing, there's no hard, fast set rules. I always suggest find a way that works for you. Even with standing outside and grounding, you may need to be in areas of high chi or energy, like around water, in altitude, in mountains, in places that are not close to built-up areas. And find your place for grounding. It could be the ocean, the beach, or it could be out in the paddocks, the bush, the wilderness. And find ways that work for you. So final minute here. You can stay where you are, or if you haven't already, bringing the body weight forward and down. And I'll just leave you in silence just to ponder these last few moments. Last few breaths. Nice and slow, pressing into your hands, unraveling your lunge. Once again, take your time, placing quietly any props to the side. You may just like to come down into a seat. You can stretch the legs long, just let the circulation come back to the legs. You can avoid any counter stretch, just let the energy settle by itself. And you're always welcome to roll down onto your backs if that feels good. And just taking a moment to pause. We'll complete our practice today with a seated spinal twist. So if you're lying on your backs, just making your way through your left-hand side back to a seat. And we can take an easy cross-leg position. So you can bring the right leg in front of the left. Just take an easy seat. If this feels good, stay here, or you may wish to tighten your legs. If you're familiar with a tight shoelace, you can tie your legs, which are your laces, a little bit tighter. Then lifting up a little bit of alignment out the lower back. Left hand can land on the right thigh or the right knee. And then we'll just take a twist over towards the right hand side without force, so you're not jamming or pulling. So be quite passive in the upper body, and it's okay if the lower spine does drop a little bit. And turning and twisting towards the right. Feeling the spiral effect through the spine. Chin can come over right shoulder. Or it may feel nicer for you keeping the spine twisting to the right and then bring the chin to the left shoulder. Just creating even more of a spiral. But if this doesn't feel good, keep the chin over the right shoulder. You may feel a bit of a pull around the hips depending on how the legs are arranged. Once again, just feel the grounding energy through the sit bones. And gaze down towards the earth or close the eyes. There's plenty of philosophy around the base chakra to ponder. Last few breaths here. Just bringing the head back to center, then gently unraveling the spine, untangling the legs, and we'll just come straight into the opposite side. So switching the legs, bringing the left leg in front. Once again, just an easy cross-legged position, or you're more than welcome to stack the left leg over the right. And it doesn't have to be the same as on the other side if that doesn't feel good for the hips. You can just take an easy crossed leg. Then lifting up out the lower back, right hand you can just drape over the left thigh and start to take your twist nice and slow over to the left. Again, chin can peel over the left shoulder. Or it feels good to go the opposite way, chin over the right shoulder. And just 2 more minutes here. It may feel different on this side. Now you have some awareness of the base chakra. When you go about your day in the next few days, weeks, months, paying attention to the subtle cues that were suggested. Noticing when you're not feeling grounded, then when you go and take some practices to help bring awareness back into your body, either through yoga, even just sitting quietly, taking some time to meditate. being out in nature, moving your body, connecting, eating some good food. Notice how all these things bring you back to center. Last few breaths. Head back to center, unraveling your spine. You can unravel your legs. And it's time to glide into your final rest, final Shavasana. So if you'd like to place some cushioning underneath the backs of the knees, behind the head, please do. And slowly roll your way down. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Have a sigh if that feels good. And just let the body rest. This is where I'll leave you for today. Please take as long as you need. Let the energy of the class integrate. And when you are ready to move, do so very quietly. And glide into the rest of your day, hopefully feeling a little bit more centered. Base chakra a little bit more nourished. It's been my pleasure as always to guide you. Until next time we meet, Namaste.